Right now, inside the walls of your home, a creature may be waiting. It doesn't fear the dark. It slips through a gap no wider than a coin. It gnaws through concrete and metal, and has lived beside us so long it became part of civilization itself. We call this a 1,000-year war. In truth, it has lasted 10 times longer. To understand the enemy, return to its birth. 10,000 years ago, when humans began to store food. For the first time, one place held a mountain of food, dry, plentiful, and unguarded through the night. To a rat, this was no granary. It was paradise. House mice and black rats once lived wild, but when we built storehouses, they moved in with us. Scientists call such animals commensal, literally, those who share our table. Then they did the cleverest thing of all. They followed us across the world, every ship, every caravan. Wherever humans spread their empires, the rats came too. We thought we were conquering the world. In truth, we were carrying them along. Humanity needed an ally, and the ally came on its own. Drawn by the rats around our grain, another small animal moved in beside us, the cat. The farmer watched it hunt and set down a bowl of milk. It may be one of the oldest deals in history, shelter and scraps for guarding our food. No one signed anything. It simply happened. No civilization cherished this ally like ancient Egypt. There, the cat was tied to the goddess Bastet, revered so deeply that harming one could bring severe punishment, a society that worshipped its own weapon against the rats. Later, the Romans carried cats across their empire, not for decoration, but for the grain that fed their armies. For centuries, this was our strongest defense, but it was about to fall. Cats never won completely, so humans opened another front, building. If you cannot kill the enemy, make it impossible to enter. The Romans raised their granary floors on rows of pillars. A raised floor fought damp and forced the rats to climb. That made break-ins far harder. In England, they invented something elegant, mushroom-shaped stones beneath the granary's legs. A rat could climb the stem, but at the wide cap, its head tipped backward, and it fell. A simple trick of physics, defeating the enemy's instinct to climb. Cats at the front, architecture in the trenches, a fragile balance, until it collapsed. In 1347, ships docked at the cities of Europe. In their holds rode silent passengers, black rats. But the true killer was smaller still. According to the most common theory, the rats carried fleas. And the fleas carried a deadly bacterium, Yersinia pestis. The flea bit the rat. The rat died. The flea leapt to the nearest host, and often that host was a human. What followed we call the Black Death. In just a few years, it killed an estimated 1/3 to 1/2 of Europe's population. This was when a tiny rodent nearly erased a civilization. And yet, was it really the rats? Even now, historians still debate this. Some argue the plague spread too fast for rats alone. They argue that fleas and lice on humans may have carried it. The truth may be messier than the story we tell. But whatever the rats' role, we never took the enemy in our walls lightly again. That fear seeped even into legend, the tale of the Pied Piper of Hamelin, who lured every rat from the town with his flute, a story tied to a real German town in the 13th century. Behind the legend lay a very real fear, and a very real trade. By Victorian London, the rat catcher was a true profession. One became so famous, he called himself rat catcher to the crown. They used terriers, ferrets, and ever more cunning traps. We had fought for 10,000 years. Surely, by now, we should have won. The problem is, our enemy still hasn't blinked. In the 20th century, we unleashed our strongest weapon, anticoagulant poison, born in the 1940s and 50s. For a time, it seemed we had finally won. Then, the inevitable happened. A few rats survived. They bred, and their offspring were immune. The press called them super rats. That is not science fiction. It is evolution, unfolding before our eyes. And look again at what we face. A single pair can breed hundreds of descendants in 1 year. It is wary of anything new. The instinct that makes it dodge the trap you just set. It gnaws through wood, plastic, wiring, even some metals. It swims, it climbs, it holds its breath, it squeezes through impossibly small gaps. We spent 10,000 years evolving into the planet's rulers. The rat evolved to master living off us. Today, in many great cities, the number of rats is thought to rival, even outnumber, the people living there. That 1,000-year war never ended. We only learned to live alongside it, and perhaps that is the most unsettling truth of all. For 10,000 years, we built granaries, raised temples, founded empires, and through every age, one creature quietly walked beside us, eating our food, sharing our roof, surviving everything we threw at it. We like to tell ourselves that humans are evolution's winner. But if the measure of winning is simply to endure against everything, then perhaps the real victor is still inside your walls.